So recently I took an 8-day vacation with the family to Mexico. I made a list of things that we did and random moments that happened while we were over there. So let's just get right into it. On the first and second day, we did nothing. It was more just relaxing and adjusting being in the land of the tacos. Now, come day 3 is where the real fun begins. For our first activity there, we decided to go to the zoo of Guadalajara. And honestly, I can't think of a better way to sum up my experience there better than this compilation of videos I took.
Penguins, flamingo,
Suction fishies,
manta ray,
tilapia,
Shark.
I'm on a gondola, rave party,
Electric eel.
Dory,
seahorse,
Nemo, shark,
angelfish,
lionfish,
eel,
fish garden, so many jellyfish,
Mrs. Puff,
I like turtles,
stingray,
birds, wow, more turtles, monkey, ring-tailed lemurs,
polar bear,
meerkat,
antelopes,
zebra,
ostrich,
giraffes,
crocodile,
danger noodle, wizard, lava.
Okay, so after our short visit to the zoo, we went to the Central Plaza, where there's nothing but shops and stands as far as the eye can see. And it was at this plaza where I got horribly bamboozled. Let me explain. You see, at one point I saw a shop in the distance whose logo was the silhouette of a pit bull with writing below it that I couldn't read due to the distance. And I tell my brother, hey, I just saw a pet store over there in the distance. We should go over there later to see if we find anything for the doggo. Come to find out later, it wasn't even a pet store at all. It was a fucking women's clothing store. And I know some of you may be thinking, Bunyan, you're an idiot for assuming it was a pet store just based on a silhouette of a dog. And yeah, I get it. But can you blame me? In the heat of the moment, when I see a big old building and it has some kind of animal on it, my brain will think, hey, a big building. Hey, an animal. Animal plus building probably is a pet store. Anyway, that was my annoyed rebuttal. Now let's move on. So day 4 comes and my parents left to go do something somewhere. Quite frankly, I don't really remember. But we're left on our own for the day, and I have to say that was the most confusing day of the entire freaking trip. The reason for this is because in that day in particular, me, my brother, and my sister were all in the mood for pizza. And there just happens to be a pizzeria down the street called Angelo's Pizza. Keep in mind, it's the middle of the afternoon, sun's out, the streets are filled with cars, and the pizzeria is closed. So we looked up on our phones what time they open, and for some weird reason, out of all the days of the week when they're normally open at 12 p.m., for some weird reason, on Tuesdays they're only open at 7 p.m. We just figured, whatever, let's just see if there's any more pizza places around. And 2 results came up. And I don't know what it is about Tuesdays, but for some weird reason, all the pizzerias around us were closed until 7 p.m. In the end, we waited until 7 o'clock to get the pizza, one in which I wasn't really a big fan of anyway. So day 5 and 6, nothing interesting really happened, so I'm just gonna skip over it. Come day 7, and we planned to go see a movie. But before that, my dad and my brother want to go exchange more money. As they were doing that, I turn around and right across the street, I see the plain black door with the words sex shop right above it. For me, I found this to be so funny because just of how plain and blunt it is. It was just a big black door with big bold words above it saying sex shop with no subtlety around it whatsoever. Now I understand for some of you people that might be a bit of a shock to hear, but for Mexico these kinds of establishments are pretty normal. So after we exchanged the money, we went to go get some food before the movie. And I can say without a doubt in my mind that I had the worst burger I've ever consumed in my life so far. The patty was super flat, they had put way too much lettuce, the ketchup was way too sweet and overpowering, I couldn't even taste the mustard, and to make up for the lack of flavor, they added a crappy piece of ham, which honestly just made it worse. Once we were done with that, we finally went to go watch a movie. Now, I wanted to watch the Hellboy movie because I was curious how it would compare to the original Hellboy movies with Ron Perlman, while my sister wanted to go watch La Llorona. Because it was a small theater, they only had 2 movie showings around the time we were there, and they were La Llorona and some other movie I don't even remember. So guess which one we ended up watching? And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but in my honest opinion, that movie was complete shit! And if you ask my brother, he will tell you that throughout the entire movie, I was just leaning towards him and complaining non-stop for every goddamn action every stupid character took. But whatever, I don't want to go on a tangent, so I hate it. Fuck that movie. Let's move on. Now comes day 8, the last official day we have in Mexico. And all we did that day And I mean, really, all we did that day was do nothing but shop. We had walked so much that day, our ankles were dead, we were tired, and we got back pretty late. And not much happened after that. We woke up at 4 in the morning, went to the airport, got on our flight, and everything proceeded as normal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my Mexico trip of 2019. I'll see you all in the next video.